Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. I got LeBron fans in my comments trying to tell me that the 2015 finals for LeBron James wasn't a meltdown. Well, what was it? If somebody's going to challenge me and say that Michael Jordan melted down in, I don't know, the 97 playoffs, the 97 finals, I'm going to be like, well, let me go check the stats. Let me go check the percentages. Let me go see if Michael Jordan melted down. That's what I'm going to do. This is what LeBron fans, they just say stuff. They just hear stuff. They just see stuff, but they don't do no investigating. Just because somebody scored, I don't know, 32, 10, and 9, let's say, that doesn't mean they didn't melt down. What about turnovers? What about your percentages at the free throw line, the 3-point, your field goal percentage? What about that? What about your defense? What about all that, right? So let's check it out. Because, like I said, just because you lose, that's not a meltdown, right? We got to look at your percentages, your overall stats. Anybody can put up 35 points and shoot 31%. That don't mean that's good. It just means you shot a lot of bricks to get those points. So let's look at this. 2015 against the Warriors, LeBron came into this game without Kevin Love, the series, had Kyrie Irving, lost them in the first game, and they lost in the first game. The second game, they won. And let me see. If I'm not mistaken, the third game they won. So you won 2 games in a row without Kyrie. And then you melted down the rest of the series. You melted down the rest of the series. And choked down the rest of the series. Now, I'm not going to say you melted down if your percentages and all that stuff was on point, right? But don't give me, oh, you lost because you didn't have Kyrie. It could have been some of the reason, but you just won 2 games without Kyrie. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Hold on for 1 second. Let me see something. Let me check this out real quick, just to be on point with this whole thing. I don't want nobody saying, "Hey man, what you saying wasn't right." We're gonna check this out. 2000. No, I don't want to go there. I want to be right on point because I did see this 2015 NBA Finals, and before we get deeper into this whole thing, man, why did it go to this? I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to go here, but you want to go there anyways. Goodness gracious. Is this playoffs? 2015 NBA Finals. I just want to make sure. Let me see. Yeah, so the Warriors won that first game where Kyrie got hurt. Let me see. 2015. Oh, this thing was on something else. Yeah, so the Warriors won the first game. The Cavs won the second game in the third game, and then the Cavs will never even win another game after that, right? So Kyrie got hurt after that first game. And then that was it for LeBron James and company. Let me just make sure something, because it's about to go down in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So LeBron took a 2-1 lead, and then after that, it was pretty much over. Before we get into these stats, let's check this out. Who he had on his team, even when Kyrie left. When Kyrie was hurt and he won them 2 games straight to take a 2-1 lead, this is who he had. Deladova, Tristan Thompson, Amon Shepard, and Mozgov. And then you had J.R. Smith, Mike Miller, Joe Harris, Brendan Hayward, Sean Marion, and Kendrick Perkins. That's who he won 2 games in a row with without Kyrie. So let's see what's going on. See why he pooped his pants in the rest of this series. So LeBron averaged 35 points per game in 6 games. 13.3 rebounds, 8.8 assists, 1.3 steals, 0.5 blocks. Okay. 3.5 turnovers. He attempted 32 field goals per game. What? Y'all talking about Michael Jordan? Bro, he ain't got that good of a repertoire to be attempting 32 field goals a game. The dude can't shoot. So obviously he was out there breaking it up. So field goal percentage, 39%. 39%. And he's lucky he got that, because he was doing a lot of stat padding at the end of those games, where those games were blowouts. Attempted 7 threes. What is this guy doing attempting 7 threes? Right? Attempted 7 threes. 31% from three-point land. And I always say, I only count your three-point percentage against you if you're trying. So if Michael Jordan was averaging less than a 3 a game for a whole season, these fools will count that against Michael Jordan because he shot 19%. If you average less than a 1 3 a game for a whole year, that means it was game after game after game after game after game after game where you didn't even shoot a 3. And you were still getting 30 points, 35 points, 37 points per game in a season. Didn't need a 3-point shot. Actually, it brings your field goal percentage down a lot. Free throw percentage, 68% from the line. What is that? What the hell is that? They're going to make up all these excuses. What was his excuse for shooting 68% from the line? What was his excuse? Yeah, because when we look back at this, right, in game 4, 103-82, this was a blowout. So this guy was stat padding at the end of those games. Game 5, 104-91, stat padding at the end of those games. In game 6, in the closeout game, 105-97, the Cavs lost again. Stat padding at the end of those games. That's what LeBron was doing. Those games weren't close. Them games were over. My man was out there on the court in blowouts, stat padding. That's what he does. And that's why you see this man he got 35 points per game, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Because he was out there stat padding in all those losses. From what I remember, I only remember him having like one good game where he scored a lot of points, grabbed some rebounds, assists, and shot a good percentage from the field, the three, um, in the free throw line. It was only one of those games. One game. And let's talk about this. This was Curry, Clay, Draymond. This was their first finals. First finals. This was LeBron's sixth finals. And this was LeBron's first final series where he actually averaged 30 points in a series. And you can see what he did here. He just stat padded. I think he still would have got 30 if he didn't stat pad, but no way he would have got 35 points per game. He just stat padded. And plus in game, I want to say in game one, he had 44 points. Let me look this up real quick. I got it right here, so we ain't got to go far. Game one, LeBron had 44 points, but was a -3, had 4 turnovers, 60% from the line, 25% from three, 47% from the field. I've never seen a guy who do so many dunks and layups can't even shoot 50% from the field in the NBA playoffs again and again and again in the NBA Finals. So let's look at this. Game 2. Come on, sucker. All right, while this thing's loaded, I don't know what's wrong with it. But yeah, here it is right here. Game 2, when they won game 2, he had 39 points. Let me see. 77% from the 77% from the free throw line, 50% from three, but 31% from the field. Wow. Wow. 39 points and 31% from the field? Yikes. Yeah, you 50% from three. He hit 3 threes out of 6. Man. This is horrible. And they won that game. This man shooting 31%. And you guys trying to tell me this guy didn't have any help? If Michael Jordan shot 31% in a game, in the finals, you think he would have won that game? They would have got blew off the floor, but instead the Cavs won. And you trying to tell me he didn't have any help? You're trying to tell me how good the Warriors was. Letting this man shoot 31%. Come on, man. I was trying to get to game 3. I don't know what this thing is on today. So game 3, when they won. What is this? LeBron, 40 points. 4 turnovers. 33% from 3. 83% from the line. 41% from the field. Or 33% from 3. 83% from the line. And 41% from the field. Who shoots 41%? I'm trying to ask you, and you're doing mostly layups and dunks. I'm just so they won those last 2 games I talked about after they won the first one, and then this is game 4 right here. The game 4 where you guys say this guy is so great, 20 points, plus minus 15, 50% from the free throw line, 25% from 3, 31% from the field. Who shoots? I mean, what? Man, I didn't even want to go game by game. I was just looking at the overall stats, but I'm trying to tell you and show you that this little 35, 13, and 8 don't mean nothing. So game 5, 40 points. He was 77% from the line, which is shocking. 37% from 3, and 44% from the field. Who shoots 44% as a forward? as an all-time great player. You know what he shoots in the paint for his career? Better than Shaq. 67% in the paint. Shaq only shot like 63% in the paint. So what? That just tells you this guy sucks from everywhere else. And the guy isn't consistent. And he was a minus 11 in this game. Um, just shows you how bad he shoots from outside the paint. If he's not doing a dunk or layup, it's pretty much a brick. So we're gonna get into the closeout game and look at this real quick, where he was stat padded too, because a lot of them percentages that you think is good in some of these games, as far as like hold on, let me see something. So the closeout game, 32 points. He was a minus 3, 50% from the 50% from the line. I mean, who shoots this kind of stuff? Like 60% from the line, 50% from the line. Who does this as a superstar? 3-point land. He attempted 10 threes and made 20% from 3. 39% from the field. I mean, y'all got to stop, man. Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Another meltdown that the media don't talk about. Why? Because this guy pays off the media. I've showed you guys in many of my videos from 2005 when he did, 2006 when he did make the playoffs, all the way until 2011. When we look at his averages, his percentages, and his turnovers, this guy melted down in every series that he lost, especially in closeout games or for the series. And people had the nerve to put this guy as a top 5 player or number 1 or number 2. How low are you lowering the bar? This isn't. We try. What is this guy? One day he's a power forward, but he plays like a center because he shoots all his shots in the paint just about. Then he's good as Steph Curry. Then he's a shooter. The weirdest looking shooter you ever seen. You used to seeing like a Kobe or a Tracy McGrady or Allen Iverson or Michael Jordan or these guys who are shooters. When you watch this guy shoot, it looks weird because he's 6'9", 250 pounds. He's not a shooter. It's just ridiculous, man. And you got these fools on here trying to challenge me about this guy didn't melt down because the ESPN and Fox doesn't talk about it. You got to think that like the Stephen A. Smiths, the Chris Broussards, the Nick Wrights, the Shannon Sharps, the Skips, all these people who are really covering for LeBron, whether they say he's number 1 or number 2, you got to think when even the Perks, Richard Jefferson, when they're at their house, they got to be thinking his fans are idiots because they actually believe we got this guy 1 or 2. When you can actually go to the NBA record books and see this guy has been trashed over and over and over, and meltdown over and over, and choke job over and over. And all this reflects is that if he doesn't have another star player or 2 next to him, he sucks. He sucks. He can't shoot a high percentage in a loss because we don't see him shoot a low percentage even when he's got these guys. So he needs all this help to keep his percentages up because he sucks. Get this guy to the line too many times, it's a brick fest. Let this guy shoot too many times, it's a brick fest. Yes, you see the attempts. I didn't even 32 attempts from the field. He took 32 shots a game in this series. That's unheard of. And don't tell him, oh, but he didn't have Kyrie, he had Love. How did he take a 2-1 lead after they lost the first game with Kyrie and they won the next two games without Kyrie? What are you talking about? And they never had Love. Michael Jordan was getting beat by 5 Hall of Famers on one team in the 80s, and then four on one team with the Detroit. He wasn't melting down like this. He wasn't shooting 60 something from the free throw line. He wasn't even shooting 70. He wasn't shooting 39% from the field. Dude was in there breaking records on these dudes' heads. Cool, you need five guys to beat me. But this is what I'm gonna do. Remember, you in the record book with me because I'm about to set records on you. This is no record. This is another record meltdown for LeBron James. You guys are looking at meaningless stats, and most of it stat padding. Okay, most of it stat padding. 13 rebounds. Okay, I give the man credit that. Where's these 13 rebounds in the regular season for his career? I don't see it. He just stat padded. That's all he did. I don't need you get 8 assists a game trying to be this fake Magic Johnson. I don't need that. I need somebody else to orchestrate this thing, so I can do other things. I can play defense. What was it? Point 0.5 blocks a game. That's not acceptable. That